For only the second time, the Brazilian Grand Prix is being held on the tough and demanding 3.1-mile Rio Autodrome. Tough because it's bumpy, because it embraces a sinuous 11-corner section, and because the main straight is nearly 3/4 of a mile long. It's wet for the 63-lap race, and in pole position, Brazilian Nelson Piquet, ahead of Carlos Reutemann in the Williams, third Alan Jones in the Williams, fourth Riccardo Patrese in the Arrows, fifth Alain Prost in the Renault, and in sixth place Bruno Giacomelli in the Alfa Romeo. And there's the top-place British driver, Nigel Mansell in the Lotus 81 in 13th position. Mario Andretti, the 1978 world champion in a Lotus, today in his second race in an Alfa Romeo, fourth at Long Beach. And there's Gilles Villeneuve in the Turbo Ferrari, in the background René Arnoux, who won last year. So, 63 laps, 197 miles, and the lap record's held by Carlos Reutemann from 1978. He's on the right, in the middle, number 5, pole position Nelson Piquet, and it's a good clean start, but in the background, a terrific shunt, and that's Arnoux's Renault off, and several other cars as well, as Reutemann goes into the lead, ahead of Patrese in second place, Jones third, and Nelson Piquet, who has incredibly started on slick, dry weather tyres, in fourth position. And it's Giacomelli now going up to fourth place. Reutemann, Patrese and Chico Serra off.
Well, I just noticed there was well, here we've got a replay of the start. Look in the background of the picture and you'll just see that some cars coming into contact. I think it was a Renault. Yes, there goes the Renault bouncing round. And then, of course, there's a big melee, a few cars flying around, and the field is immediately split up. I was fascinated to see that Nelson Piquet had started this race on slicks. I have to say that seems to me a completely mad decision. Look at the state of the track. There's a lot of water on it. Slick tyres will be very bad for this, and I think probably that Piquet's had done a bit of overkill, because those of you who watched the South African Grand Prix may remember that he ran on wets in that race in marginal conditions, and he stayed out too long, and as a result of which, tactically, by not changing early enough, he probably blew any chance he had of winning the race. This time he's decided not to confront himself with that decision, except that looking at the state of the track, I should think he'll probably be in the pits in a few laps to put wets on, which of course will put him right out of contention. A strange decision, and I gather that a couple of other cars, I believe Pironi's started on slicks as well, so I don't know what's going on, but they seem to... Now, Alan Jones is now coming up on the inside of Patrese, and I think he got him then. Yes, Jones has just come through inside Patrese. He came out of the previous corner very well. He got more traction, got more bite, and basically dragged him down the straight then.
So, Carlos Reutemann leading at the end of lap 1, and here's a replay. Now, watch Alan Jones. He's behind Patrese in a ball of spray. He comes out of that, comes right up alongside the Italian driver, comes through on the inside, and it's the familiar situation at the end of lap 1 of the two Williams in first and second places, Patrese third, then the Alfa Romeo of Giacomelli ahead of De Angelis' Lotus, and Keke Rosberg in the Fittipaldi in sixth position, and that's Villeneuve in trouble. He's hit Prost's Renault, and he'll have to come into the pits to have a new section of the nose put on the Ferrari, and Giacomelli's in trouble, the man who was in fourth position coming into the pits, and that means that Elio De Angelis in the Lotus goes up into fourth place. Now, there is Pironi. James just mentioned that Pironi was on slick tyres on the Ferrari. Now we'll see Carlos Reutemann, yes, goes straight past him.
Yes, you can see the disadvantage of slicks this early in the race to be lapped. I mean, obviously Pironi, yes, he's keeping off the racing line. So you see the car twitching, fighting for grip there. It's the conditions are quite unsuitable for slicks.
Reutemann leads Jones, in third position Patrese, in fourth position Elio De Angelis, and we're looking at the two Williams in team formation with Carlos Reutemann leading, Alan Jones in second place. They have both passed Pironi.